what is the spread?
For people who are not familiar what a spread means, spread is basically placement of cards when you draw the cards. Okay. And those placements have a specific meaning, spatial, significance. So for example, I'll just draw my favorite spread here to answer your questions as well. So let's say if I was to make my favorite tarot spread, this is what it would look like. A 3-card spread.
Right. By the way, Neha, before
something I can do on the go.
Right. And before you would even ask anybody, what do you think my favorite spread is? Kalpana has written in saying horseshoe. I do not know what that means, but she's put in saying horseshoe. That she's guessing that might be your favorite spread.
Yeah, so this is my favorite spread because it is something that I can use day in, day out. Like I said, I keep referring to my cards for a lot of decisions that I take. And that's why it's important for me to, have something which is quickly turnable. Since I work whole day, I don't get time to make those big spreads. But this one is something that I, readily go to for small things that I have to ask, day on day basis.
Right. And the simplicity of something will always make it your favorite, right? Right. And of course, the bigger spreads you do as and when required with the situation. So does that mean, Neha, that different questions or different situations have very specific different spreads that are answers for only that question or that field of questioning? Is that?
Yeah. So basically, every situation demands different kind of insight. So for every different situation, we have specific spreads made. So as a reader, you know what is the right kind of questions to ask. As a reader, you know what are because when somebody is sitting in front of you, you might not be able to think through all the aspects. But if you have a spread ready with you, you can just refer to that spread and you will know what are the right side of questions to ask. What is it that I should deep dive in?
Right.
Yeah. So that is why I, find the spreads very handy in general, because it saves, time of thinking through every time you meet a client or every time you're reading a situation.
Right.
And the specific placement signifies what kind of question you will ask for, what kind of, situation or what kind of exact thing you want to check. For example, in this case, I see 3-card spread. It talks about past, present, future.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So any questions that I want to ask, I will say what is the past that is associated, how is it situated in present, and what is the future looking like.
Okay. All right. Bhavesh, actually, it's quite clear. May I request you to maybe put your earphones on? It might just help you a little better. And we will come to this as well because Neha has a gift for all of us, which is going to come up. All of this, I've been asking you to now ask you, Neha, what is this quiz you put on the group? What is that all about? Why, you asked, what do you think this is? Well, guess the meaning of the sun, guess the meaning of the chariot. Which suit represents element of fire? Guess which of the following cards could have a negative meaning, both upward and downward facing. In these 4 questions, I can see 10 questions I want to ask you to understand why you asked these questions. So let's start with the first one. Guess the meaning of the sun. Meaning of chariot, suit, negative meaning, both upward, downward. So what I'm trying to ask you, Neha, is, and please forgive my lack of my lack of knowledge with tarot. What is suit? Where is elements coming from? What is this up and down, upward facing, downward facing? What are these 3 things? And then you can give everybody their results as well.
So when you pull out a card, okay. So this card, if I'm sitting on this side and if this is facing me, this is the upward facing card. Okay. If I have pulled the card like this straight, it means it's an upward facing card. And if I have pulled the card and it got pulled like this, It means it's a reverse card or it's a downward facing card.
Okay. So the facing is per you, per the reader, not per the person who's asking.
For the reader. No,
Okay.
no, for the reader. The person who pulls the card. So if your client is pulling the card, or if the person whom you're asking the question is pulling the card, then it will become from his perspective.
Okay. And okay. And so it has relevance to the interpretation.
Yes.
Right. And this is, of course, something that you, if it happens right now on the call, we'll get to know. And this is, of course, something that you teach as well.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Okay. And then there's suit, which suit, sweet suit, however people would like to pronounce it, represents element of fire. And there's wands, cups, pentacles, swords, which is then obviously not the regular card, clubs, diamonds. So what is suit here? And therefore, what are the elements here?
So I would like to show you the elements.
With the cards? Lovely. Yes,
yeah.
please.
Okay.
Yes.
So for example, I'll just show you this one card. Okay. If you see here in this card, you are able to see some cups.
Okay. And
okay,
just give us a second. We'll just put you side by side with everyone.
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. So here, for example, this is another card. Can you see this cup that they are holding? So any card which has the cup, it forms part of the suit which is known as a cup. So they are all grouped together. They have a single meaning. All the cup cards have some relevance. Those cups have some relevance.
Okay.
Okay. Similarly, the other suit which we have on tarot is known as wands. This long thing that he's holding,
right?
Like, yeah. So that is known as wands. I'll show you one more card of wands to give you an idea what he's holding in his hands here. What you are seeing like a lakdi, lati type of thing.
Right.
That's the wand. Okay. Similarly, the third suit that we have is known as pentacles. All the stars and the yellow behind it. Yeah. So those stars that you're seeing is actually a pentacle. It's not a four-corner star. That's why it's known as a pentacle. And all the cards which have this symbol, they are all known as pentacle suit cards.
Okay.
Yeah. Similarly, we covered pentacles, wands.
I think swords is left.
Yeah, swords is left. So whichever card has sword in it is the sword card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, Neha, all these cards would have, contextual meaning, references to it, understandings of it, which you would either get when, taking up this work with you or learning this with you. However, with that, I also, so correct me if I'm right here, normal playing cards that we know, hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. Here, suit, as we call it there, here it is wands, cups, pentacles, and swords. Fair enough. What